build a superchip from Zhonghe and Yuan Ershan. Low-end craftsmanship creates top technology, undeniable. At present, there is still a gap between our country and the world's leading level in the field of high-end manufacturing. Mass production of 3-nanometer chips with stage-level power. Samsung's significant entry into the field. China currently only publicly claims to be able to produce chips made of 14 nanometers. Private situation unknown. Even though we have mastered the 7-nanometer production line, production capacity is rather limited. So much so that Huawei cannot continue to sell well every 60 series. The main reason is the lack of supply of the Kirin 9000S. Obviously, the difference between advanced technology and mature technology is not just about shrinking production, more about reducing energy consumption, reduce chip size and actual cost. This shows that more large chips made with mature technology, in theory, it could even surpass the performance of small chips made by advanced technologies. So, for example, if you make a fingernail-sized chip at 3 nanometers, compared to making a book-sized chip using a 28 nanometer process doesn't perform too poorly. It's just that the job number is bigger. Takes up more space, however. For supercomputing systems or high-power large area computing devices, the area and job number of the chip are not key parameters. Therefore, SBR Assistance has successfully manufactured the largest source-level chip in history. The strategy is to increase performance by expanding the chip area. Even if the process is a little outdated, it doesn't matter. In recent years, the Chinese Academy of Sciences plans to develop superchips based on similar strategies. According to relevant reports, the Institute of Computing Technology of the Chinese Academy of Sciences showcased a newly developed 256-core multi-new computing unit, become a central governor. This chip uses a 20-second process, using Chile technology, adopting Ruth and architecture. Each small core contains 16 V-cores, a total of 256 cores, scalable up to 100 subchips with triplet technology, total of 1,600 cores, that's 300 millimeters of gold. This means that each piece of precision can only produce one chip. Although the chip is manufactured with an accuracy of only 22 nanometers, but it could go beyond 3 nanometers. The chip is made mainly from its internal transistor number of more than 1 trillion. This type of chip is dedicated to supercomputers, high-throughput communication, scenarios such as HTC and artificial intelligence tasks, extremely high performance even without cutting-edge processes. In fact, the business community has been emphasizing the integration of chips after multiple processes through CHLI technology, create a more efficient whole, achieve high performance in a commercial manner. Therefore, this scheme of the Chinese Academy of Sciences is feasible, and this superchip is also expected to promote the development of the entire industrial chain. Let the whole industry be full of vitality. The United States once tried to take advantage of its chip design tools and other advantages to dominate the development of global chip technology, and block the rise of China's chip technology. However, China's scientific and technological forces have always been able to successfully develop new technologies inadvertently, bringing new ideas to the design of domestic chips, avoiding US controls on such technologies. The good news is, another exciting news recently came from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and they are trying to carve out a whole new path to design domestic chips, trying to ingeniously avoid chip technology controlled by the United States. For a long time, the United States seeks to prevent China from developing advanced chip technology at the expense of their own interests. Use your own generation of tools as weapons, restricting the ability of American companies to provide technical support for Chinese chip companies made of less than 14 nanometers to impede China's technological progress. But now the American conspiracy has been completely smashed. According to several authoritative media reports, the Chinese Academy of Sciences has developed a new chip design technology using advanced AI technology and took the lead in launching the world's first fully automated and unmanned AI design chip. This helps our country break free from the shackles of the United States in the field of chip design. Have more autonomy. The chip is based on a miniature architecture and it is manufactured using a purely domestic 65mm process, although there is still a certain gap compared with contemporary top products. However, the degree of localization of this chip in the chip, frame design and manufacturing process has been significantly improved. According to public information analysis, the AA design chip released by the Chinese Academy of Sciences has the potential to greatly shorten the time required for the chip design process. Design time compared to current generation tools, it is only 1/1000 of the current time. That is to say, this technology can greatly expand the design potential of domestic chips. In addition, the Chinese Academy of Sciences will incorporate artificial intelligence technology into the field of chip design. This undoubtedly ushered in a new era of chip research. The technology is expected to be later applied to 14 nanometers, 7 nanometer or even 5 nanometer chip fabrication. In addition, it completely eliminates the dependence on a pair of tools in the United States. The integration of artificial intelligence technology into chip manufacturing has also been widely used around the world. Among them, the famous Desktop Point is one of the leaders who first introduced AI technology into the chip field. They partnered with NVIDIA, introducing cool technology developed by NVIDIA. This significantly optimizes chip packaging efficiency. At the same time, it can effectively reduce manufacturing defects, significantly reduce power consumption, save manufacturing costs, and because today's chip structures are extremely complex, it has become increasingly difficult to rely on human labor to complete the design or manufacturing work. The introduction of AI technology can greatly improve the processing efficiency of the internal structure of the chip, and we can identify potential problems in advance during the computer simulations. Avoid the situation in the past, where the problem can only be found after leaving the film. Save time and reduce costs. Now, the Chinese Academy of Sciences has introduced artificial intelligence technology in the new design process and the world's leading new manufacturing. Shanghai Electromechanical is also promoting artificial intelligence in the same field. Since then, artificial intelligence has become an important part of the entire supply chain for processing chip design and manufacturing. Greatly promote the mass production progress of imported chips. It has far-reaching significance for the entire chip industry. As China's local chip industry fully promotes AI technology, global chip companies are gradually realizing the many benefits of this technology. Even American chip giant AMD is designing chips, actively introduce artificial intelligence technology in multiple links such as testing and verification. It is worth noting that AMD's chips are still produced by Taiwan Machinery and Electronics. Therefore, it can be seen that the US chip industry has also gradually adopted artificial intelligence technology. This means that the type of tools that once monopolized the market will gradually be abandoned. Well known, technology is changing every day. The chip industry is no exception, especially in a country like the United States. With a bunch of tools in hand, some domestic enterprises have reaped rich benefits over a long period of time. However, the unrestrained greed of the United States has caused countries around the world to worry about its control over new industrial links. It is China who has the courage to step forward, successfully challenged America's dominance of the tool chain of the generation. This undoubtedly accelerated the decline of the generation of tools in the United States. The behavior of the United States in recent years has had a profound impact on the global chip industry. Outside of China, there are other countries that are also trying to break the dominance of the United States in chip architecture. For example, China's vigorously promoted Furong's Lonsin architecture has emerged in the international market. Previously, it dominated the mobile chip market, the x86-day demonstration in the PC processor and server chip market. The well-known American company Intel once dominated the global chip market. However, in recent years, the United States has been gradually reducing its influence in this field. It's self-inflicted in comparison. Our country's Scientific Research Institute has developed the top optical coiler processor. It can be called an important breakthrough in the field of chip manufacturing in our country. Its performance is outstanding. Significant process innovation, implemented device design, The whole process of chip manufacturing is autonomous and controllable. The processor uses light waves as computation as a ring, fast operation speed, much lower energy consumption than traditional electronic computing methods. They meet environmental requirements. The computing speed even exceeds because of up to 100, and seamlessly compatible with MPU neural processing, suitable for high computing power needs, such as artificial intelligence and deep learning. The production process eliminates the need for expensive lithography machines, so it greatly simplifies manufacturing difficulty and cost. This is undoubtedly a big leap forward for our country's new film industry. The marks that our country's scientific research strength has reached the international leading level. It has laid a solid foundation for achieving autonomy and controllability in more fields. It is expected to lead China's new film industry to a new peak. The recent exciting news also includes our country's scientific research team has overcome the technical joint problem of 5-nanometer optical science machine. The semiconductor industry is the mother of modern industry. It is closely related to a country's scientific and technological strength and economic competitiveness. In this silent but intense global competitive environment, our country's strategic layout from traditional microelectronics to quantum computing gradually shorten the distance between the leaders. For example, 5-nanometer lithography technology has become one of the latest research achievements in this field. The popular understanding of lithography is a high-precision printer that depicts the pattern of a microcircuit on a standard. The 5-nanometer Bruxelles audit is currently one of the most advanced standards in semiconductor manufacturing. Can be made smaller, faster and more efficient chips. For countries that want to come out on top in high-tech, mastering this technology is essential. Behind the technological breakthrough of China's V-nano optical machine, the effective combination of independent innovation and deepening, reform and opening up policies, prove that our country has the strength to break the technical wall, not limited to technical achievements. This breakthrough reflects the improvement of our country's ability to grasp the initiative of future commercial wars. At this stage, although our country has made breakthroughs in this field, however, it is still necessary to actively promote technological innovation in order to cope with the ever-changing market competition environment. However, difficulties such as core materials and lack of heavy dependence on imports still need to be addressed. Further, find a position in the global semiconductor supply network that meets your needs and position. Building a strong and efficient network of partnerships is also critical. International competition is often protracted. In particular, two of the world's leading countries, China and the United States, the competition between them will determine the future direction of mankind for decades to centuries. The focus of Sino-US competition lies in the contest of comprehensive strength. To truly realize the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, facing the hegemony of the dollar, it is bound to be a difficult battle. The key to this important decisive battle is the chip battle. As early as 2018, the Trump administration is planning to decouple from China, burn up evaluation, despise the inability of American businesses to completely decouple from the Chinese economy. Therefore, the White House adjusted its strategy and took the lead in launching a trade war with China in areas such as telecommunications networks and software. After Biden took office, he will fully advance his strategic blueprint for withdrawing from China. According to the Biden plan, the United States and the reconstruction of an independent, high-end technology industry chain exclude Chinese companies. For low-end industries, the United States adopts an outsourcing strategy, looking for other national suppliers to provide alternatives, gradually reduce dependence on China's industrial chain. Recently, the U.S. has strengthened its relations with Mexico. Investments in India and Southeast Asia aims to create a commodity supply system outside of China. Looking at the bigger picture, the second U.S. strategy is of little practical significance because its so-called industrial chain still depends on China to produce raw materials or work in progress. It is processed and then sold to the United States. Even some products are purely made in China and then sold to the United States. After changing the label, it is of great concern that, if you can't win this high-tech competition, the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation will also come to nothing. In the past few years, Li The United States has provoked a chip war one after another, integrating the Netherlands, the semiconductor industry in Japan, the South Korea and other countries, banned the sale of advanced chips and semiconductor production equipment to China, even forced Taiwan electromechanical negative media factory. Obvious, the above-mentioned practices in both show that the United States intends to use the tools at their disposal to suppress China's prosperity. However, after years of unremitting efforts, our country has initially established a relatively complete new industrial layout. At this stage, there are still some technical bottlenecks that are difficult to overcome. For example, cutting-edge chip production at the 7nm and 5nm levels cannot be achieved on its own. But thankfully, for 14nm and 28nm chip production technologies, with relatively low maturity, we have made a major breakthrough: mass production. And that's the foundation of the approach. The United States is no longer sufficient to rely on chip technology to comprehensively contain the rise of our country. However, the challenge is not yet over. Recently, our country has launched active reproduction measures for semiconductor and new product-related fields. For example, our government announced to the outside world earlier, because the products of Meimei Company do not meet the requirements of our country's cybersecurity standards, decided to restrict imports. In addition, the Chinese government has recently introduced a strict export price control policy, officially implemented from August 1st. This move undoubtedly shows that our country will launch a decisive retaliation against the United States directly in the supply of semiconductor raw materials. It is important to note that China accounts for 67% of the global market share of industrial applications and their compounds. It also has a 95% market share in industrial production. In this context, large-scale reduction of industrial production in our country, it will undoubtedly have a major impact on the chip manufacturing industry in the United States and Western countries, although from a technical perspective, the chip manufacturing technology of the United States and Western European countries is ahead of our country. However, if there is a lack of knowledge of key raw materials, such as industrial production silicon, how can the Americas maintain their leadership in chip manufacturing? In short, this high-tech competition dominated by chips, it will be a difficult challenge that our country has to face and overcome before achieving its rise. Only by winning this chip war with the United States, we can gradually build a sound modern industrial chain system so as to gradually wean itself off the premise of dependence on the United States, achieve smooth, independent development and continuous progress. This battle, we should not only strive for and must ensure final victory.